Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to train your stubborn cat to use a kitty door. Now, I wanted to do this video because I do a lot of videos on lifestyle topics and definitely include our animals and things I run into with them. And for this particular situation, we wanted to get our kitty box outside so it would just be so much cleaner in our master bath. That's where we've had the cat box for the past year at our house. And we wanted to move it outdoors, so we went ahead and purchased a kitty door on Amazon. I'll go ahead and link that in the video. I wouldn't recommend buying one at your local like Home Depot or Farm Supply because they're super expensive. You can get one for a fraction of the cost on Amazon and they work just great. I was really surprised at how hard it was to train our cat to get to use the kitty door. I always had cats growing up and it was super easy. And when I went to find videos online that might be helpful in training, there wasn't much in the way of training videos. So I'm going to show you how we got our cat to use it. It did take her about a month, so don't give up, be patient, and I'll show you some techniques to get through this training period. Alright guys, so the rest of this video is going to be done on the floor so I can show you how to best train your cat to use the cat door. So for starters, I just want to show you the kind that we have. It does have this locking mechanism, which I think is pretty useless because we're never planning on having this locked. And it does have a magnet on the bottom, so this is a pretty secure one. So I like it that it's kind of airtight. You don't like get bugs and like potentially rodents in. Although we did have a squirrel get through this when we were in the middle of training, and I'll tell you why. But we did have a magnet on this, and you do have these locking clips. So we always leave it unlocked. The magnet does provide a little bit of tension on the door, so it is pretty hard for a smaller animal to push through it. So what we did when we first installed it, and you can do this with the door closed, is just put some treats around the door, and especially the other side has a little sill. So I put treats and cat foods on that. Cats want to be able to spread their scent on things to get more comfortable with them. So that's a great way for them to just get close to the area that they're going to be entering and exiting. So you can do the treats and the cat food by this area, and you can do that for several days until they kind of get their scent on the area. Or you can start with fully opening the door and putting the treats around it. And how you would keep the door completely open is we just got some thick painter's tape. This is like 2.5 inch, 3 inch tape. And I went ahead and just popped the door open. And then taped it up from there. So you can invest in some like plastic hooks if you wanted to. If you wanted this to look nicer, and I can have those slide in the video right now so you know what I'm talking about. They're just the ones that have the sticky on the back. And those you could stick right on the back of the door, and then have another one here and put like a string type thing if this tape was just not attractive to you. So when we first started off, you're just going to want to have the door completely open like this. And again, use the treats and like even feed your cat in this area so they get used to putting their scent on it and get used to being around it, because they will notice even the slightest difference in a door and feel uncomfortable being around it. So once your cat's used to the door, if they start going in and out, that's great on their own. If they don't, you're going to want to put them on the other side of the door and leave some cat food when it's feeding time and you know they're going to be hungry, or some cat treats on the other side, and just encourage them to come on through. If that doesn't work, just keep proceeding with putting treats and foods around the door, and hopefully that will lead them through. And if you have a good relationship with your cat, you can definitely give them some encouragement and kind of like push them through, which I definitely did with our cat because I got a little bit impatient with training her, and she was really hesitant walking through the door. So I just like put her food on the other side, she wouldn't get it on her own. So I would just go ahead and manually push her through the door, and she eventually started going on her own. So once your cat is, and this is why I like the tape method, because it's just super easy. Once your cat is comfortable with that height, you're gonna wanna slowly start lowering the door, and I would wait like 4 to 5 days with each level, and definitely don't move a litter box or something like that where there's a big commitment outside until your cat is fully trained. I don't want any accidents inside, so we still have the cat box inside because she's just now getting used to going through the door completely on her own. So I wanted to do this video while it was still fresh in my head, but I still am not confident moving the cat box out. Once I see her consistently going through without getting scared, I'll be moving it outside. So lower the door, same thing, treats and food. Our cat goes indoor, outdoor, so she knows when it's feeding time and when we're home and she's like hungry at night. So that's a great time to put the food on the other side of the door because they're already expecting it. They're probably hungry at that point, and so it's gonna encourage them to come on through. So then you're just gonna proceed in lowering the door. And once I got to about, I would say where the door was like 3 inches ajar, she started getting more hesitant going under, and it took longer. And what I did at this point was I did like manually push her under, and I would tape the door going either direction just so she could get used to both. So the way that this one works is it does flap both ways. And so I would practice, and I would definitely push her through so she could get used to the feeling of the door on her back. That's what she really didn't like, and she was really hesitant about. She felt like it was going to slam on her. Once she was comfortable doing this, when it had that opening for her, we did drop it all the way down. And if you have another pet to show as an example, that's a great resource to use. I definitely had our small dog go through the door, and she would watch that, and I do think that made her a bit more comfortable. So if you have a small pet, you can encourage them with treats to go through the door and show your cat how to do it. So once the door was all the way closed, at this point, she was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, it's completely closed. I'm not getting through. And at this point, I did just take her and push her into the door so she could feel what it felt like. And then also at nighttime when she was ready to eat, I put her food right here, open this a little bit so that she could like smell the food and stuff. And I would leave her outside, and if she didn't come in, then she didn't eat. So it's not like we didn't feed her for days on end, but I think that happened to her one night she didn't eat, and the next night or morning when she was super hungry, that's when she came through the door. So if you just give them a little bit of encouragement, don't starve your cat. I'm not saying don't feed them. I'm just saying that if they're hungry enough, they will come through the door. And you know, with all this training beforehand, they're gonna know that they can make it through. They're just gonna be a little bit scared, and they need that extra push. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. I hope this video was helpful, and if you like videos on just like animal training, lifestyle, we have several domestic animals and also farm animals, so I'll be sure to post more, and we'll see you on the next one.